At the south end of the Sibley Peninsula sits another beautiful geological creation, the sea lion. 1 billion years ago, liquid magma pushed its way to the surface here. It cooled and hardened and transformed into igneous rock, much harder than the sandstone it penetrated. Over the millennia, the sandstone eroded. The igneous rock did not. And this incredible formation was left behind. 1.5 meters thick, 8 meters high. It extends 15 meters into the lake. According to Ojibwe legend, before Nanabozho was turned into a sleeping giant cast from stone, he had many companions. One of them was a sea lion. But not just any sea lion. Nagagoi had the wings of an eagle and the feet of a duck. As it is told, Nanabozho went on a long journey. He brought Nagagoi, but forgot his other companion, the thunderbird. When they returned, the thunderbird created a storm so vicious, it broke off one of Nagochi's wings. He tumbled from the sky, as did his master. Thinking Nagagoi had failed him, Nanabozho turned him to stone as punishment. And there he stands to this day, waiting for his master to return. In the 1800s, the formation had a head, and it became known simply as the sea lion, sitting patiently, looking out over Perry Bay. The head has since eroded away, yet it remains a must-see destination for hikers on the Sibley Peninsula. The geological masterpieces of Lake Superior reach beyond its shores. 65 kilometers northeast of Thunder Bay and Sleeping Giant Provincial Park is Ouimet Canyon. Over tens of thousands of years, glacial ice, running water, and brutal weather carved out all the softer sedimentary rock from this spot, leaving behind towering igneous rock walls, 100 meters high, 3 kilometers long, and a breathtaking chasm 150 meters wide.
Ouimet Canyon certainly is a significant ecological representation on the landscape here, as well as a quite interesting and profound experience when you look over the edge. People are often surprised at just how big and wide it is. Just because of its size and grandeur, it really is quite amazing, and it's something that you don't see very often.
Here in Ouimet Canyon is another sacred site for the Ojibwe First Nations. This is the Indian Head. According to ancient Ojibwe legend, it was once a giant named Ouimet who helped the Ojibwe spirit Nanabozho to raise mountains from the earth and create lakes. Ouimet fell in love with Nanabozho's daughter, Naomi. One day, Ouimet was moving a mountain. A peak broke off the mountain and struck Naomi, killing the girl. Fearing retribution from her father, Ouimet laid her in a shallow lake and covered her with a rock shield. Nanabozho sensed his daughter there, so he caught a thunderbolt, cast it down, and split the rock. There he found his daughter. He buried her there, in what is now the base of Ouimet Canyon. And to punish Ouimet, he turned him to stone and forced him to watch over her grave for eternity. Today, the floor of the canyon is a protected area. The base of this canyon is a climatological anomaly. Air is stagnant, and there is little sunlight. It is icy cold year-round. These conditions nurture an extreme microclimate. Arctic and subarctic vegetation, normally found about 1,000 kilometers north, such as alpine woodsia, Clinton's bulrush, and saxifrage, thrive here. Ouimet Canyon also provides a picturesque sanctuary to the world's fastest animal, the peregrine falcon. These winged carnivores have the incredible ability to dive bomb their prey at speeds of up to 320 kilometers an hour. In the mid-1960s, DDT poisoning eradicated this remarkable species from the province of Ontario. In 1977, a recovery project was introduced by the provincial government. Over 20 years, 600 young peregrine falcons raised in captivity were released into the wild. Today, their numbers have rebounded all over Ontario, due in part to protected areas like Ouimet Canyon, where high perches and abundant prey create an ideal habitat for these magnificent nesting pairs. The protected areas of Lake Superior are a spectacular refuge for woodland creatures, but also for ancient human influence. Lake Superior Provincial Park is no exception. Located on the east shore, it is home to the awe-inspiring Aua Rock. For thousands of years, the stormy waters of Lake Superior have relentlessly pounded this 30-meter-high sheer rock face. For the Ojibwe First Nations and other tribes from thousands of years before, the furious booming sound made by waves filling the fissures was a thing of wonder. A supernatural force sent from the spirit world. This was and is a sacred place, a dangerous place. Ancient peoples paid their respects and used pictographs to warn others of potential danger.
Generations of Ojibwe have painted images, red ochre images, representing the stories of their life here along Lake Superior. It's a very exposed site. Right at the edge of the lake, this cliff face, you can only get out when the lake is very calm because it doesn't take much of a wave to come in there. And it makes it quite amazing that the images have lasted for any length of time.
For the paint itself, the ancient Ojibwe used hematite rock. These strikingly colored rocks are high in minerals such as iron. They were crushed to a powder and mixed with fish oil or bear grease to make a paste that fused to the rock on which they were painted.
They probably painted there for generations, for maybe thousands of years, but what we see today is estimated to be 150 to 400 years old. It gets the weathering from waves, they can be covered in ice, and they're also exposed to the sun. So it's quite remarkable that anything's lasted as long as it has.
Some images are obvious, like this canoe. And this horse and rider. And some not so obvious.
Perhaps one of the most unusual images there is the one known as Mishipeshu, the spirit of the lake. Mishipeshu is sometimes been called the underwater panther or the horned lynx. And so it has that spined back and those horns indicating power. And if not shown the proper respect or given the proper offerings, then Mishipeshu could simply lash its tail and whip up a storm and may capsize canoes.
The ancient Ojibwe who drew these have long returned to the spirit world. But Mishipeshu still lurks in the form of dead, calm waters and rogue waves that can strike without warning against walls like these.